Well, hello. Thank you for stopping by and visiting my channel. My name is Chris here at Gardening at the Simon Getty North. And I said I was going to do a 3-part series videos on cranberries. Well, we got one more. In today's video, I want to show you how to make white chocolate cranberry cookies using your dehydrated cranberries if you dehydrated them, or you can buy them already dried. And let me show you what they look like. Don't these look amazing? So if you want to see how I made these cookies, keep watching this video and we're going to get right to it. These are so good. And they're husband approved too. All right. Let's go and get started on showing you how to make these cookies. This is the recipe that I'll be following. It's kind of a modified recipe because when I found this recipe, it was to buy packaged, already pre-mixed snickerdoodles, and then you just don't use the cinnamon and sugar packet that you would sprinkle on the top. And so what we're going to need for this recipe is 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup or 2 sticks of salted butter, 1 1/2 cups of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 3 tablespoons of sour cream, 1 cup of white chocolate, and 1 cup of dried cranberries. I guess I missed the cup on there. It's 1 cup of dried cranberries, the cranberries that we used that I dehydrated. So let's get started. So I picked this recipe so I could use the dried cranberries that we just did in a previous video. So I will be using those. So let's get started on what starts first. Well, the first is to have your oven preheating to 375, which I already did. And I already have a baking sheet with parchment paper. And next we want to mix in a large bowl the snickerdoodle mix, which is all the dry stuff with the egg, softened butter, the sour cream, and then use a hand mixer or a stand mixer for 2 to 3 minutes until thoroughly combined. So that's what we're going to do right now. So basically that part is the snickerdoodle premix that I just made on my own without getting the package. So if you wanted to buy the pre-packaged snickerdoodle mix, you can and just take out the cinnamon sugar packet that you sprinkle on top of the cookies. And then, yeah, or you can do how I'm doing it right now. Okay, I realized that bowl was way too small, so I busted out my stand mixer. And we're gonna go ahead and start mixing it. There we go. All right, let me get some of that butter off of there. Get this off the mixer here. All right, let me get this off. I try to anyway. All right, let me take that off and push the mixer aside. There. Okay, so now we need to fold in the chocolate chips and the cranberries. All right, I did a cup of white chocolate, and I'm going to do a cup of the dried cranberries. There, I'm using a quarter cup, so 4 of them makes 1 cup. And then we want to fold this in. Wow, it's really hard. This is a new recipe for me, so should turn out. Smells good. My husband said he's willing to be a guinea pig to try out these cookies. He's pretty good that way. He'll try anything I make. Oh, this is really hard. All right, I think we're ready to start forming the cookies and get them on a prepared baking sheet. Next step is using 1.5-inch cookie scoop. Scoop out dough and form into even balls. Place them on a prepared baking sheet with 1 inch in between each cookie. All right, so I got my little handy dandy scoop here. All right, so there's a dozen, and my oven is already preheated to 375, and these are going to bake 18 to 13 minutes or until the edges get golden brown. Do not overbake. Remove them from the oven and cool for 5 minutes before removing to a cooling rack. All right, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go put them in the oven, and I'll bring you back when they're done. So here are 2 batches of the cookies. So there's 24 cookies. I still have some batter to go here, so we might get 3 dozen out of it. But I wanted you to see what they looked like, and they're still a little bit hot. They pretty much took, I think the first batch, they weren't as big. And I found that they formed better if I kind of rolled them a little bit before I put them on the cookie sheet, and then they kind of spread out. But these took the whole 13 minutes, and the one on the bottom took about 12 minutes. So that's what the first batch looks like. And this is the second batch. So I'll bring you back when I'm done finishing with the rest of the cookies, so we know how many dozen we actually got, and I'll let you know if this is husband approved. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so here are the rest of the cookies. I ended up getting 3.5 dozen of cookies. These are still cooling, and then I have those ones on the plate right here. And these taste excellent. Husband approved. He loved them. He also loved them with his coffee. So this is definitely, if you like cranberries and white chocolate and snickerdoodles, you're going to love this cookie. And, you know, it's great for the holiday season as well, or anytime. And remember, I used my dried cranberry bits to make these cookies. So another way of being able to use your dried cranberries is making a cookie, or making muffins, or putting them in pancakes, or making breads, or, you know, whatever you want to do. And even those bits, you could powder them up as well, and, you know, put them in a smoothie, or put it in yogurt, or whatever you want to do. So these cookies taste excellent. I hope you'll try the recipe. I will put the recipe also in the description box down below, and so you can get the recipe from there. Like I said, it called for a pre-mixed package of snickerdoodles, so I found a recipe to make the snickerdoodle batter itself from scratch, minus the sugar and cinnamon that you would sprinkle on the top for the snickerdoodles. So if you like this video, please smash that like button and share this video with anyone who might be interested in white chocolate cranberry cookies. These taste awesome. I really want to thank you for stopping by. I'm sure glad you did. And yeah. Live, love, laugh, and garden. Hope to see you at the next video. God bless. Happy baking. See you later.